Welcome to another episode of the Love Not Fear podcast. Today our topic is living in harmony. I'm David Henzel and this is my co-host Eduard Brink.
Welcome. So harmony has two aspects: harmony in with people, harmony with planet. What else can you be in harmony or imbalance with?
I guess you can be in harmony with yourself. You can be in harmony or balanced in terms of what you consume. You can be your thoughts can be in harmony. I think it's like harmony is like everything playing together well.
Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about how does imbalance look like?
I guess
Where do you feel it? Is it something conscious? Is it subconscious?
I guess it depends on what you focus on. For example, if you have an imbalanced diet, right? If you just like eat way too much junk food, then you will suffer from this, and this will affect not only this will affect multiple areas of your life.
Sure. Then it's very obvious. But what if you live a life that's imbalanced with your core values, or with maybe you work for a company that is not providing a good, healthy environment for its workers, or harming the world. So,
yeah, I think it's really important to the core values is an important point. I think for me, it's really important to define what are my core values and making sure I'm living in harmony with them. Because if you are not doing this in any aspect of your life, like how I'm treating my daughter, my wife, my friends, myself, I will suffer in the long run. Maybe not in the short term, but in the long run, it will always bite you in the butt.
yeah. Well, this it all comes down. I was trying to stay away from the core values, but basically that's where it all starts. So if we talk about wisdom, courage, justice, self-control, these are essential for good and healthy living. So if you talk about harmony, you must have an idea. If I don't know what is good for me, if I don't know myself, I can only look at what's happening to me to feel that's in disharmony, but not being able to really place it into words. And reading a couple of books that made me reevaluate what I was doing, and reevaluating my belief system and my primary response to things that happen to me. And that's why this is a long leeway into what I was going to ask you. There are things that you can control, and there are things that you can't control. So what does that do with harmony?
Yeah, I guess if you focus on things you can't control, you'll always be in a victim position. And I think it's important to choose your battle. What do you really want to impact? What can you impact? Because if you focus on things that you can't impact, this will definitely throw you off in terms of being not harmonious. I know what you want to talk about, but I want to like a little tangent. When you talked about books, The Four Agreements is an amazing book which really opened my eyes massively. It's probably like on the top 3 list of most influential books I've ever read. And he talks about the mitote, which is like a South American marketplace where lots of people talk over each other. And he talks about the agreements that you make with yourself. And if you make conflicting agreements with yourself, for example, I want to be the world's best dad, I want to be the world's best entrepreneur, or I want to have a very happy family life with my wife, and I want to have sex with every attractive woman that I see. If you don't make these agreements, then you have like the crosstalk in your mind, and there will be disharmony because you have not made clear what you really want and what you stand for. And once you make these agreements clear with yourself, the crosstalk in your brain will disappear, and you will live in harmony.
Yeah, but you leave a very big gap open to that we can talk about. What is in your control and what isn't? This is something I struggle with every day. And I sometimes I tend that the universe will give me anything if I'm just open for it. And the other day I'm in practical mode, and I'm really okay. If you want it, go get it, work for it, make it happen. Where are you on that balance?
I, for example, do not consume any news, because news are always negative, and news are all, they list things that I cannot impact. So I always want to look in front of my doorstep, people around me, my companies, my employees, my friends, and I want to start there and not go somewhere else. Or, for example, COVID. One example, when COVID started, I heard about this very early on. A friend of mine sent me a video of what's going on in China and how people were freaking out there, and I thought, like, okay, what can I control in this with the situation? And I thought, okay, what I can control, I'll buy some masks, I'll buy some oxygen tanks, I'll buy a oxygen meter and hand sanitizer and food for a month. And this was something that I can control. So I want to focus on this issue and spend a reasonable amount of time and money on this. And once I did this, I stopped worrying about this.
Yeah.
Right? Because I did the things that are in my control, and then I stopped freaking out over this and just like went on with my life.
So by taking action in a certain area, you didn't get on board this emotional roller coaster, because you thought about it, you actioned, and you gave it a place. You could literally go to a place where these are my precautions I've taken, and that's it for now. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you get stuck in this negative loop, and I think it's a friend of mine told me about this concept that he came up with. It's called worry time.
Yeah.
If you worry about something, if you have like this thing in your mind, then it will energy from you, and you will be less productive because you always have this thing in your mind. So he schedules worry time. If there's something that's of worry for him, he schedules it in his calendar, like next Tuesday for 3 hours. Then I will worry about this, and then he will
next level. That is next level, but
does
it work for him?
It definitely works for him, and it also works for me. Similar with the COVID thing, I was worried about this, like, what will happen to our family, what will happen to XYZ. And I sat down and like contemplated, okay, what can I do to, what is in my control? What can I do to reduce the most catastrophic situation for my family?
Yeah.
Right? What is in my control? And hence the oxygen tank and the food. And then I did these things, and then I was able to not worry about this anymore, because I did what was reasonable with with the amount of time and money I want to put into this. And then this allowed me to be free from this.
Yeah, I agree, because sometimes if you take a problem and you do some action around it, you become more and more creative, and creativity solves in problem solving in different areas. So by basically starting on a solution, it's not only satisfactory, but it could also open up new ideas around it, and this could be an inspiration for other people as well. Yeah, nice. Okay. Yeah, harmony. We talk about harmony, being in harmony with ourselves, others. Let's talk a little bit about harmony with the rest of the world, with the whole world. You say you consume very little. What kind of choices do you make when you? Tell us a little bit. You're a vegetarian.
Vegan.
Vegan. Okay. Mm-hmm. Step 2. and if you buy something, what do you look at? What does consumption look like?
Consumption, I want to only consume things that are good for me. So I look at the ingredients list, and often there's like a very long list with like things I can't pronounce, and then I do not buy it. I think it's also living in harmony with environment, or living in harmony with other species. I think there's no need to consume animals. I can live without, and I'm very healthy, and also blood. I'm doing this since I'm 18. Since I'm 18, I'm vegetarian, and I'm vegan for, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And for me, it works really well. And I think living in harmony with other beings and living in harmony, I don't want to I do not like being too preachy about this because it's for everybody. It's their decision. You know, we have lots of animals. We have dogs, and I do not see a difference between a dog and a baby cow. And so I don't not think it's. But yeah, I don't want to get into this because I don't like to be too preachy.
This can be a long episode if we dive into that. I think it's already time to go to our last part. Is what is it that we want people to think about? And for me, it's the key takeaway was how to deal with situations that are beyond your own control. Mm-hmm. So what could be an assignment for today? What
I think the worry time concept would be cool. Kind of like, you know, what is worrying you? What is taking away like your mental resources? Schedule in your calendar, schedule worry time, and figure out what can you do, what's in your control to make this potential thing less threatening. Right? How can you improve your situation in this regard?
I'd like to add to that be mindful of when your energy is where. So don't do this on a low energy, and don't do this as a last thing before going to bed, and don't do this before meeting your significant other, because you will be like, okay, there's my loved one, and also always coming up with problems. So highly practical, but be mindful of when you schedule this.
I mean, worry time, you could also schedule this together with your wife if this is something that involves her, you know, or like where she could help. Then you can form like a little mastermind, and you know, two people together will always be, you know, come up with like more creative things.
I've done that. I've made a mind map, taking a marker, a whiteboard marker, and writing on the window of my living room. Mm-hmm. So, okay, what is the problem? Whiteboard markers you really wipe off easily, and so you can map it. And somebody could. My wife, she would draw up a completely different branch on this mind map that I have never thought about. So, making it visual and doing it together, it's also a good thing. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I think it's time again, and hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Yep. And sign up for the community on the lovenotfear.com. It's free. I'd love to see you there.